It's a podcast. Welcome to episode 8 of the All You Can Hear podcast. I am one of your 4 hosts, Tanner. With me, as per usual, we have Cody.
I'm here.
We have Wenzel.
Hey.
We have Colt.
Yeah.
We have special guest Jonathan. He's just there.
Yeah.
We said no fucking noises.
Jonathan, no weird
And he
noises.
starts-
But then I started doing bird sounds, so I thought it was appropriate for Jonathan to do bird sounds. Jonathan, you do you, bud. You just do all the bird sounds you want. And that's the sound cue to announce who won the All You Can Hear Overwatch Invitational. It was Eric the Table's Twitter. They had a pro on their team, so it was a little unfair.
Congratulations, you won.
Yeah, congratulations.
congrats.
They won. That was their prize. Putty Putty playing in the background for... Oh,
We bargained
Yep.
with them, so
Yep.
we didn't have to pay
that
them
was
30
it. Yeah, we
bucks.
didn't even
That
have
was
to
it.
pay out the grand prize. That was just it. No, not really. But yeah, this week is kind of our E3 wrap-up show, because E3 is over as of this recording, Thursday.
Can I say one thing, though?
What are we talking about?
Everybody listening, look down your shirt and spell
No,
addict.
no.
Look down your shirt
No,
and spell addict.
no!
A-T-T.
A-T-T-I-K. Okay, there we go.
Wait.
I told you, Colt.
No, but sorry. Now I'm thrown off for the entire episode. No, E3 is over. Last week we talked about Microsoft and EA a little bit. This week we're just going to be talking about the other guys, talk about our biggest winners, biggest losers of E3, and things like that. So, E3.
It was good.
it was
I liked
good.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Do an overall rating.
Oh yeah,
I'd
no,
give
we
it an
will.
8 right now.
As an overall E3.
Overall, it was okay.
I was an 8's not okay.
It was okay in my standards.
You have a very flawed system. If an
You know
8's
what?
okay.
It was good.
So what was the two things we didn't? We didn't talk about Ubisoft.
We haven't talked about Ubisoft,
Bethesda.
Sony, Nintendo, Bethesda, or Devolver.
Oh, we didn't
Devolver
talk about
best
it, did we?
conference.
I do want to talk on Devolver because their conference wasn't even a conference.
Oh, it was fucking great.
But it was great. It was a
It was still
great
the best-
20-minute
yeah.
bit.
Best of all.
Yeah.
It was like an Eric the Andre.
I lost.
Eric the Andre.
I lost everything when I watched that.
No, Eric. Why did I say the Andre?
Buy our game.
Because I said Eric the Tables earlier, so that
I've always
Eric
wanted to
the
be an
Andre.
Andre.
no, but it was like an Eric Andre bit. It was great. If you haven't seen the Devolver Digital Press Conference, do yourself a favor. They showed no games, so there's nothing important there.
Yeah.
But content-wise, great bit.
Yeah.
Would watch it again. And it came on at like midnight on Sunday.
So we were all sleepy.
The oddest time slot of all time to put anything on. But when you think about it, it was a very Adult Swim like programming.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
knew who they were appealing to there. And I think it did super well.
I mean,
think.
I'm buying whatever they're selling. Whatever
Yeah,
it was.
yeah, whatever
I don't even
whatever
know.
Devolver dropping, I'm picking up, you know? But then we had Bethesda on Sunday as well. Did anybody have any outstanding thoughts?
Wolfenstein.
I liked
looked
Wolfenstein.
amazing.
Yeah, so the last 2 games they showed, Evil Within and Wolfenstein, obviously the big ones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and address controversy surrounding the whole Skyrim thing. Do I think they're milking the Nord cow?
Wait, which Skyrim thing? The fact that they're
fact
still
that-
releasing it in
yeah.
the year of our Lord 2017.
I do think that I think people are more upset that they didn't come out with a new.
Luigi.
The people were expecting, for some reason, they were expecting a new
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls,
Yeah.
and but I mean, like they've been saying for like months now that no, there's not gonna be a new Elder Scrolls. There's not right now.
Yeah.
We're not even thinking about it.
No.
And so I don't know. It just frustrates me a little bit because people are like, oh, Bethesda, you suck. And I know they're releasing it on different consoles and things like that. But the thing is, though, is that
It's been out for like 6 years.
It's been out for 6 years.
and we said we predicted.
I
it.
mean, we said on the podcast
It
2
was
weeks
gonna
ago,
be-
we were like, it's going to be the next Minecraft.
It's gonna
Which,
be-
when you think about it, kind of is.
well,
Minecraft is still-
Minecraft is now.
Minecraft is still the Minecraft. It was at another E3 conference this year.
Yep.
It was at 2, was it not?
Well, it's cross-platform.
Yeah.
Now it's 4K.
Well,
I don't-
cross-platform with
I-
everything but Sony.
Sadness.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Have you
Yeah.
not read that controversy? Yeah.
No.
Sony is not
So it's
allowing
like,
any
we
crossplay.
don't want this sad. Fuck it. There we go.
No, Sony literally said they don't want. I think it was something about they don't want to be responsible for other people's player bases. Like if a kid heard something inappropriate or whatever. But I'm like, Nintendo literally said, okay. Like Nintendo, like you would expect Nintendo to be sticklers
Yeah.
about that. They didn't even have voice chat on their last console.
I think that Nintendo has kind of come to the conclusion that they may not know what's best for their own player base.
Well, sure. I
Like-
mean, yeah, we can talk about Nintendo's business practices all day, but
I mean,
it doesn't change the fact that they're a
someone said-
multi-billion-dollar company.
Someone said on a video I watched yesterday, I can't remember who it was just kind of a random one-off video, that Nintendo, they don't know how to run a fucking business. They don't know how to appeal to their fucking audience, but they sure know how to make a fucking game.
Yeah,
It was like
I watched that same video. No, I
It was
don't
Donkey, I
Yeah,
think.
it was
Donkey.
Donkey. It was
Yeah.
Donkey. But no, it's totally true. Because, like, I don't know. Nintendo's always just, like, the strict but fair teacher. You're like, damn it, I hate you, but I respect the hell out of you. It's so frustrating. But no, but even, so Minecraft is literally, going back to Skyrim, Minecraft is literally cross-platform with all Microsoft, all Nintendo, mobile, and PC.
all Nintendo's in like the.
Or anything Nintendo's on. So I guess Switch and Wii U versions.
What about? Is there? No, they haven't made a 3DS.
No, there's not a 3DS Minecraft. But like iPhone, and then like
I see
apparently,
it coming. There's a 3DS Minecraft coming.
I feel like now would have been the time to drop that. Like, I feel like the time for that has passed. But anyways, going back to Bethesda, and another big controversy with Bethesda is the whole Bethesda creation tool thing.
Paid mods.
Where they're like, pay us for your mods. And
I'm feeling like
it's a slippery slope.
That's gonna be a slow rollout because next time they probably will only accept mods from their website.
Well, here's the weird thing, and I caught onto this before I even saw that it was paid mods. Is when they were talking about it, they were like, they showed 3 cogs. The biggest cog was Bethesda developers. The second biggest cog was like trusted mod developers, and the smallest cog was you. So I'm like, so is this just a way of Bethesda devs just being able to push out whatever whack ass DLC they want without
Please God,
it
no.
really having to go through? I don't even know what you would call it before a, I don't know, a meeting or like a team. Be like, yeah, I'm just going to push out crab armor for $5 and you can't stop me. But like, on one hand, I agree with that. On the other hand, I'm totally fine with if a well-known modder can put a mod on there for $2 and make money off their mod, I'm fully fine with that. I'm not fine with Bethesda taking profit from them because again, it didn't work for Steam.
Oh no!
Like, it went very bad for Steam.
I think that we should just do a donation thing on them. I think if they want to do something, make a free. Do they have? I mean, I know they use it's called Nexus. I think is the website they use for.
I have no idea, but sure.
But if they actually made a space for mods to be put up and vetted for free, and like also have mostly free but some paid for the top tier mods, I think that's fine.
I think it's fine, and then Bethesda is doing some weird phrasing with it where they're like, well, you're not using real life currency. Okay, the only way to get the currency to buy these mods are with using real money. But you have to use real money to buy Bethesda points, and then you use the Bethesda points to buy your mods.
Whoa,
That's real money.
That's real money.
Like,
Can you not get any currency just through playing?
They haven't said anything about that.
Tanner, you don't understand. $1 is equal to 1 Bethesda point.
Well, I don't think that's factual.
I think
I
it's
saw
actually
the
one- I
crab
think it's-
armor
I
was
think
like
it's-
500 points.
Yeah, I think it's like 1. I honestly think it's 1 to 100.
Yeah, I think that's what it is as
yeah.
But
well.
that would mean $5 to get your damn crab some armor,
I don't
which
like
the whole PC gamer thing from a few years ago.
From 2011, like, who even remembered that? And now, I don't know. It's just one of those.
the dude who
Buy
wrote-
our game.
Wenzel's holding up the Todd Howard picture of him just yelling, and it's red. It's not even him yelling. It's a very clearly photoshopped mouth, and it's red and blurry, and it's great, and I love it.
I'm losing my shit.
Love you, Todd. But Todd, if you're out there listening, love you. But I don't know. It's just weird. But people thought Bethesda had an actively not good conference, which I think besides that hiccup, it was actually a really good conference.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
I
everything
enjoyed
they
it.
showed is 2017. Like,
Yeah.
everything we
Hell
saw is
yeah.
coming out within the next 5.5 months.
people are upset, but I mean, Fallout 4 VR.
That sounds awesome.
mean,
Fallout
it
VR
looked
sounds awesome. And Skyrim VR, people thought that was just an experience. That's the whole game.
Well, that's the same thing with Fallout.
Yeah, Fallout 4 is the whole game in VR, which, I mean, for people that have VR, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out and spend $500
I want to, but
on a VR headset for it. But
Oh yeah, I was looking at Sony for the whole setup. It's like for like the bundle, it's like 600. It's like 500
yeah,
bucks.
because those PlayStation Move, because I think it comes with the headset itself and then like 2 of those PlayStation Move controllers.
Headsets, the headset, which costs $300 by itself, the Move, which Jonathan actually has a pair. Like, they haven't revamped the Move whatsoever.
No.
The Move is exactly the same thing as was.
Well, here,
that was
you know what
launched on
Sony
PS3.
did before they launched the VR? You used to be able to get Move products for super cheap, and then right before VR came up, they went up like $40, and everybody was like, "Oh no!" And then you learn that they're compatible with the VR.
And another thing that it comes with is the camera,
Oh yeah,
because you have to have the camera in order to track your head movements and things like that.
yeah. But overall, I thought Bethesda was, just fine. Again, everything's coming out within the next 5.5 months. They still have a new IP up their sleeve for next year. Some other projects. I don't think a new Elder Scrolls is coming. So
That's another 4 years.
I think they'll announce it 2019.
I could see that. Well, the thing is, like with Skyrim, they announced it at the time. I guess it was the TGAs or the VGXs. I don't even remember what Keeley is calling his thing now. But it was whatever it was. But they showed it in 2010, December. It came out November 2011.
Yeah,
So-
11.
Yeah, so it was literally an 11-month turnaround. Completely fine with that. And we'll get to that. Well, let's go to Ubisoft and let's just address the elephant in the room. Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, we were talking about it before this. Vaporware, possibly.
Let's
See, it looks real cool. Here's the thing. When the developer describes the game that people have been waiting on now for 14 years as day zero development, you know what that means? The only thing they have developed for it is from what I've heard, this very half-baked tech demo that they're showing the press at E3. That game is nowhere close
That makes me so
to
upset.
being done. Nowhere close to being done. And again, Cody likes to, rag on me for, Kingdom Hearts 3 Vaporware.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is almost done.
This game
My ass.
this game may really be Vaporware. And I hate using that term because I think it's so unfair. And I'm sure they're working on it. It's the Rayman Origins team, which, created this great platformer with Rayman Origins. But it's just this is a whole different beast. They want this to be an open world, multiplayer, inhabited scavenger planet thing with multiple solar systems or some shit from what I don't know. But it's that seems drastically different from the first one, again, from what I've read. But this game may be 4 or 5 years off at least, and that's assuming it comes out, which is not. I mean, we're going to be out of PS4, PS4 Pro, Xbox One X, whatever, by then. It's baffling. I don't
know what they're gonna do.
I don't know why you should. I mean, I understand why you show it because fans have been wanting it for years. People thought it was canceled, literally leading up to the weeks 2 E3. People were like, "Well, this is canceled. It's been 14 years. It's donezo." Apparently not. Still alive. But when I've never heard a developer describe something as day zero development. That's nothing. That means they have no voice actors. They've done none of the groundwork. They've done probably no writing for the game. They probably don't even know what the game is going to be yet.
That gives me a headache, and I already have one.
Yeah, it gives me a severe headache to think about,
why would they do that?
I mean, it's...
Ugh.
I don't know. It's just one of those weird things where it's just I guess they were just well, we have to show something. And I guess this was their answer.
Yep.
But, good lord. This game is very realistically 4 years away.
Yeah.
That's being realistic. Being more realistic, maybe they release Beyond Good and Evil 2 for the 20th anniversary of Beyond Good and Evil 1, which would be 2023, which I will be 27 or 28 years old.
I'm going to throw up.
Yeah. That would make y'all old. That would make two people in this room in their 30s.
Shit.
God, it is terrifying, and it's just so much can change in that amount of time.
The game could literally be completely different by the time it actually comes out too.
Oh yeah, the game could be completely different. It could be I mean, again, this is a very weird thing to compare it to, but Overwatch wasn't supposed to be what it turned out to be. It was supposed to be an MMO. This game may turn into a whole different game because they're we have something here we can work on and have finished in 2 years, as opposed to this project taking 6.
Anything they said about Beyond Good and Evil, I seriously think is not going to be anything near what it was.
No,
it comes out.
I don't think, and that sucks for people that have been waiting again a decade and a half for this game. It just kind of sucks. And then this isn't even a sequel; it's a prequel at this moment. It could become a sequel, or it could be a prequel that that goes into a sequel.
It's weird that they call it Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, and that's weird in and of itself that it's Beyond Good and Evil 2, but it's a sequel to Beyond Good and Evil 1.
I think this was last second. Really?
It very well could have been last second because again, the weeks leading up to E3, there was a lot of reports that this game was canceled. I think a Ubisoft rep even said it was canceled. I don't know, but
Why would they do that?
yeah, I don't know. But Ubisoft had a really good conference. Other than that, or they had a good conference. I mean, that's cool that they showed that. You know.
Yeah, we got Mario and Raven Rabbids.
We got
and
Mario Rabbids. That
Far
looks
Cry
awesome.
5.
Far Cry 5 looks good.
5.
Assassin's Creed looks like Assassin's Creed again.
Yeah.
Just Dance is Just Dance again. But Ubisoft, it's so weird because I never thought I'd complain about this with a press conference, but Ubisoft's press conference felt the most personal to me. Just because there was actual people on stage, you know, with Sony and Microsoft, they just showed trailer after trailer after trailer after
Nintendo
trailer.
did the same thing. Well, the
Yeah,
thing is, though,
Nintendo
they've been
did the same
doing
thing.
that, though.
Huh?
They've been doing that for the past few years.
Yeah, but like even this year, they didn't have Ubisoft didn't have anybody hosting. Aisha Tyler wasn't
And
hosting.
I hate
It was just
that.
it was
Aisha
just
Tyler was the soul of Ubisoft.
different people. But I think one of the best
True.
moments of E3 to me was when Miyamoto came on stage and they
had his gun out.
No, yeah, when he threatened to shoot the audience. No, when they cut to the project manager of Mario Rabbids, and the dude was like crying because like he was getting to work with Miyamoto. And I read in an interview, I think it was with Kotaku, he was talking about in like 2004 he like camped outside of Miyamoto's hotel for like 10 hours just getting the chance to meet. It was sweet. It wasn't like crazy John Lennon weird. It was something like really sweet. And he was like, and now here I am 12 years later, like giving Miyamoto my ideas and him approving of them. I don't know. It was a really neat story.
Oh, that's nice.
I would suggest everybody reads it. Like that to me was one of the coolest moments of E3, and it didn't even involve a game. It was just like
that's
person-to-person relationship. I thought it was really cool.
I can't wait to go to Miyamoto and tell him about my podcast ideas.
Miyamoto, please be on our podcast. No, but Mario Rabbids. Oh my god, that game looks awesome. Like legit.
heck yeah.
I think it looks pretty cool.
It's literally XCOM with Mario and Rabbids.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an incredible premise for a game. I mean, I'm in. I was in before, and then they showed it. And everybody's like, "Well, this game's not near as bad." I was like, "Of course it's not bad." Like Nintendo first party has immediate, say in it, and then it's a very good Ubisoft team working on it.
Well, I mean, Rabbids are the minions of the game world.
No, that's unfair. Minions are the Rabbids of the movie world because Rabbids came first.
That's true.
That's factual. I'm just giving Cody the stare. But no, I thought Ubisoft had I would say great press conference.
8.5.
In the moment, Ubisoft had a great press conference. After all this stuff with Beyond Good and Evil 2 has come out, it kind of diminishes it a little bit. But I still think overall they had a very strong press conference.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Which is funny because afterwards, once they announced it, we were all like freaking out. Like,
yeah,
that was
we
amazing.
were all just like, oh my god, and like none of us really even care about Beyond Good and Evil 2, but like we know that like people have been waiting for this. I mean,
the trailer looked cool.
Yeah, but like we were all babies when the first, like I was 7 when the first game came out, which would have made you two like 3, and then like
I was 4,
and like Cody and Jonathan would have been
10,
9 or 10. So like we were all children when the first one came out, and now here we are now. Doing a podcast talking about it
and how much it sucks
and how it's not going to
game.
come out ever.
Don't know how they made a second one.
But I guess it'd probably be more Colts and Wenzel's wheelhouse. We can talk about Sony.
Sony good. Sony better than everyone else. Everyone else suck. Thank you.
I thought Sony's press conference was great.
Yeah,
I thought it was a good
Sony.
press conference. Again, I don't think anybody this year had a bad press conference. I think everybody showed good. At least. I thought even EA had a good showing.
Yeah, no, EA was pretty good.
Again, Ubisoft had a great showing. Even the developers had good showings, and then like the main console brands, I thought had really good showings. Sony had a good showing, but did their last 2 press conferences kind of screw them over because they blew their load so much that this year was just kind of spittle.
Looking back on it, I really liked it. I liked everything that they show, but I was kind of disappointed knowing that almost all of it all the games that they showed will not come out this year.
Yeah, and then like you think about stuff that came out before the Sony press conference. Undertale would have been a home run if they showed that at the press conference.
Yeah.
Ni no Kuni 2 would have been a home run if they showed that at the press conference. The Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, grand slam if they showed that at the press conference.
Yeah.
All of that came out.
You're forgetting the biggest hitter.
What am I?
Knack 2.
Oh, Knack 2.
$40.
$40 Knack 2 in September. they showed that at the. I mean, again, if they showed that at the press conference, people would probably be like, "Oh, that's cool." And I've been hearing about some of these indie games that are coming to PlayStation. Like, there's just one game coming out called, oh my god, what is it called? Hidden Agenda, and it's this game where you have like up to 4 players. You all have your phone, and you're essentially like, I think it's several different stories, but the one I was reading about was like you were going to put this guy on trial, but you got to make all the decisions. So like, and you had cards. So like, if Wenzel played a card, that Wenzel got sole choice to make the decision. I could play a card that gave me the sole choice to make the decision, and it could screw everybody else. It was a really neat looking game. I'm like, that would have been really cool for Sony to show at their press conference. We saw nothing of that.
Yep.
It's the first time I'm hearing of it.
Yeah, and it sounds.
I never heard of it.
It sounds like a the Jack Party Pack game, but it's not. It's like another developer essentially making a Jack Party Pack, and that's one of the games included, and it like uses your phone. And it's a really cool concept. I think didn't show it at the press conference. Was there any indies at Sony? I'm sure there were, but I'm not remembering
Not
any.
really.
No,
there
not
wasn't.
really.
It's like it was just
Big
games.
AAA titles.
Yeah, I mean they started with. What did they even start with?
I don't
God.
remember.
Did they start? Oh, they started with the Uncharted.
Oh yeah,
Standalone.
Uncharted.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they.
And
There
then
was a lot of production value for that one, like, weird standalone Uncharted.
Yeah, and I've never have in the history of my life has the standalone been hyped this much, because they revealed it at PSX last year.
Yeah.
So that's 6 months. Where is it? Like, I understand
It
it's
comes
a
out in
standalone.
August.
Yeah, but like that. Like, I remember when the Ubisoft guys showed Blood Dragon for the first time. It was like available in 2 months. And you're like, cool. And that's a great like people still refer to, as far as DLC and standalones go, that Blood Dragon is like the pinnacle. It's like Blood Dragon and Gay Tony are like the pinnacles. And it's just like, what are you doing over here, Naughty Dog?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a developer. Like, I don't know what goes into the process. I'm sure they're doing other projects. Obviously, they're doing Last of Us 2, so I'm sure that's taking away resources.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those weird things. But and then that Days Gone game.
Days Gone looks so good to me. I love the way it looks.
See, like, I think it looks good. Don't get me wrong. I think it looks like a game that is coming out in the wrong time, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like if you showed this game 3 years ago and this comes out in 2014, that game is great. But now, 2017 or 2018 is probably when this game's coming out. You have so many just zombie games and so many.
Like the
I don't
think there's-
Yeah,
horror.
survival horror games, or just like third person like just crawl games. I mean, we
just
have
don't think there's any games like it, really. I know there's a lot of
Last of
zombies
Us is
games.
exactly like
no,
it.
it's not, because this game actually looks open world compared to.
Well, I agree, but I'm just judging on what we've seen. I mean, yeah, a game
it
can look.
looks like it has
Destiny
some-
also looks open world, and it's very much
That's
not.
a different thing. And plus, it also looks like there's an actual sneaking system in it, like a Metal Gear type deal going on.
I mean, it may be.
'Cause
I hope it.
enjoyed the way he blew up that gate and flooded all those zombies in. Plus, the zombies are not like regular zombies. They're actually, I would say, Left 4 Dead tier zombies.
Yeah, they're like Left
They
4 Dead
flow like
zombies.
And I
water.
love
Yeah.
that. I love the fierce zombies.
Now, I
that
will
make
say
me
this game
shit.
showed way better this year than it did last year. If y'all
Yeah.
remember the demo from last year, it was
Yeah.
literally the
It
guy
was-
just
it was
planted on the steps, just shooting
Zombies.
zombie
as
after
he was
zombie on the
running.
steps, and it was incredibly boring.
But this was definitely better. But honestly, like you said, it's the wrong time.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like World War II shooters. Like, nobody released a World War II game for years, and now Call of Duty's releasing another World War II game, and everybody's like, so innovative. No, it's not. This is all
It
the
really isn't.
This is all the shit we got 8 years ago, but now it's prettier.
Yeah, but I will say though that Call of Duty World War II looks
Oh no, it
does
looks
look
good.
good.
Don't get me
and
wrong.
I'm actually really excited for it.
Oh,
yeah,
hell yeah.
I'm definitely a sufferer of the hype. No, I'm totally with you
I
there.
love how it was Battlefield 1, and now they're doing.
Yeah, World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about Battlefield 1 is its player base dropped because there wasn't that many, it didn't have much content.
Yeah. It seems
'Cause
like they're adding a lot of content this year because they're taking a year off from Battlefield.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with Battlefield 1, it was World War 1,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't have many guns, and they just reused the same gun like 4 different times, but rapid fire, semi-auto, and fully automatic.
Yeah.
But there's that tiny little pistol, and they have like variants.
That's the only good gun in the game.
I got the what was it, legendary or whatever? I don't know.
I don't even remember.
Gold. I don't know. I got the very highest rated. I got a very special variant for it. I was really happy.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
It's a tiny baby gun.
It's tiny little baby gun?
Yeah.
No, but No, I think World War II looks really good. But again, going back to just Sony's press conference as a whole, I just thought there was just a lot of trailers. Like, I just feel like somebody was on a YouTube playlist, pressed play, and it just cycled through the videos.
I mean, God of War looks.
Oh, God of War!
Oh.
I think God of War was definitely the highlight.
Oh yeah.
Of
God of
their
War and
press
then,
conference.
and then probably second to that would be Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah, I'd agree with that. But then, and I was confident that Spider-Man was coming out this year. With the movie coming out, it just seems like a great time to release
gosh.
Spider-Man. I can't believe that thing is not making it out this year.
That makes me so sad because it looks so good. It's like Cody said, it is Marvel's answer to DC's Batman Arkham series.
Yeah, the combat looks great. The only complaint a lot of us a lot of people are having, I mean, I would like to see how the game played in an extended setting, are the QuickTime events. Because, like, there was a lot of QuickTime events in that gameplay. There was, like, 8 or 9 of them.
I don't think it's an open world game.
I don't think it's an open world game
I think
either.
it's cinematic.
I mean, very possible, but I don't know. Like, the fact that that's not making it out this year, the fact that a Sony rep literally came out and was like, yeah, our first parties are taking a year off. Why? You're in the middle of the console cycle. Yeah, like, literally Sony was like, well, we've sold 64 million units, and they're just kind of leaning back.
Gosh. If some of those games, like specifically God of War and Spider-Man, if those would have come out this year.
Oh, if those dropped this year, Sony's press conference is 100 times better.
Yeah, and like it would have just added like more, I don't even know, like more icing or whatever to this huge fucking cake we have.
Yeah.
That is this year in video games.
What else is coming out from Sony at the end of the year?
Ni no Kuni 2. That's
Ni no Kuni 2 is coming
Kuni
out.
2.
That's
Knack 2.
exclusive. Knack 2.
That's
I mean, Destiny 2 has exclusive content, but it's multi-platform.
yeah.
Do they not have?
They have the Uncharted standalone
Do they
that will
not have
probably do
anything
good.
holiday?
No.
PSA. Well, that's during. Never mind.
Well,
my
that's also
gosh.
not a game.
Yeah.
That's a conference.
I know.
No, they literally have. I mean, Ni no Kuni 2 is literally the close. I mean, again, they have the multi-plats that they have exclusives over. So they have Call of Duty exclusives, and I believe they also have.
Oh, Yakuza Kiwami.
Oh, but that's in August.
That's no. I'm still
So,
thinking. I'm still.
yeah,
holiday
I guess-
next year.
And then you have to think about all the stuff they've blowed their load over the past 2 years. Hardly any of that made an appearance. We didn't see Last of Us 2. We didn't see Shenmue 3. We didn't see a Crash revival that a lot of people thought we were getting.
Yeah.
They didn't show. I mean,
We
God, they
we-
didn't
we-
show Yakuza 6.
We didn't see a new IP from Software, which made me kind of disappointed.
Literally, that was like the most confirmed thing E3 weekend was like, yeah, From Software showing a new game. They're showing it legit. Bet the bank on it.
Probably get a PSX.
No, yeah, probably PSX. But like that's 6 months away, and so
Yeah.
Sony, and again, Sony can kind of afford to do that right now. But it makes for a disappointing viewer experience where they're just like, here's some games that are coming out in a year or two, like Detroit. Detroit's a 2019 game. Don't tell me it's 2018. That's coming out next year.
I don't know.
Or 2019, like I just said. They didn't even show a snippet of Red Dead 2, which again I wasn't expecting, but you know,
Yeah.
would have been nice to thrown on there.
Yeah.
Or the Kingdom Hearts 3 thing, like I said, would have been nice to thrown on there. But
yeah, this E3 has been kind of weird.
it's a weird E3 because again, I don't think the Sony press conference was bad, but compared to the last 2 years, it was. I don't want to use the word bad, but it's kind of weak. Like I would still get. I mean, if we're rating press conferences, I'd probably give their press conference a 7. Which isn't bad by any means, but it's like compared to 2016's probably being a 9 and 2015's being the 10 of all 10s, a 10. Like it's kind of weak.
Are we comparing it to
I'm comparing
all of Sony's conferences?
I'm comparing
ever?
2017 Sony's conference. Well, I'm comparing there's on a 10-point scale that I would give to everybody, but I'm also comparing them to. Again, the great press conferences they had last year and the year before. 2015 in particular, people call it the Conference of Dreams. In what world have you ever heard a press conference referred to as the Conference of Dreams?
Okay, I see what you're saying. I would definitely say it's a 7
Yeah,
compared to
it's
their last
on the
conference.
lower scale, but
Yeah.
for overall this year, I'd say it was a 9.
No, I would say overall this year it's still a 7. 7 still sticks. Whatever we're looking at.
I don't even know what he saw.
I don't know.
I mean-
I'd meet in the middle and say it's an 8.
I would like to know Cody's opinion because
Yeah.
What's the overall?
what's your overall Sony press conference score 2017?
I count the pre-show as well. That's me.
I'm gonna go with a 7
Yeah.
because I think what they showed was most of it was really good.
Yeah.
Like all of it was really good stuff, but there's nothing coming out.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest. It's not a concern because again, the PlayStation has sold 64 million units. It's not a concern at all. It's just I want something to play on my PlayStation.
Yeah, no,
You know?
like being someone who really wants these games to come out.
Yeah.
I mean, giving it an 8 for me is like really stretching it.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it doesn't matter because I'm not an actual
Yeah. Who cares?
reviewer.
We're not a
Yeah, nobody
we're not-
cares.
We're not a judges.
But
League.
gosh, I wish they would have
But
something.
you know what it is a good year for?
What?
Mm.
The Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Nintendo.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay. So Nintendo open up right out of the gate. They're like, and then they showed the 4 things, which they showed ARMS, Splatoon 2. ARMS comes out on Friday, which it will be out by the time this podcast drops.
Yeah.
Splatoon 2 comes out next month. Rocket League coming to Nintendo Switch, what I think is a big get for them. Exclusive content.
I just saw that coming. Rocket League is.
I mean, but
everybody is
sure,
everywhere.
but portable Rocket League in high definition,
Oh,
30
wow.
frames. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
I'm
going to
just
be
over
really
Rocket
cool.
League at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I played on
Rocket League
PS4
is
for
the
like
new
3
Skyrim.
months.
Rocket League is the new Skyrim, which is the new Minecraft.
Please no.
Which is the new Doom.
Yeah. And then what else did they show in that? Oh, and they showed Pokken, which comes out fairly soon.
Yeah, Pokken looks good.
Pokken looks really good. Again, it was kind of disappointing to the extent of the Pokemon Direct they did. a
Well,
week
I'm
before.
glad they confirmed that there is a Pokemon game.
Oh
being
yeah,
made.
I love the guy just sitting behind the desk, being like, "Yeah, we're working on a core Pokemon," and you're just sitting. Did he just confirm that just so nonchalantly that a main series Pokemon game is coming to a Nintendo console for first time ever? Like he announced that, and it caught me so off guard. Like I didn't even notice it while we were watching, and then like he's like, and we're releasing a Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch like a year away or whatever, and I'm like, wait, what does that mean? And the question is like, what are they working on? Because obviously the big Eurogamer leak, it's Pokemon Stars. Well, I don't think they're releasing Gen 7 again.
They shouldn't.
I don't think they do. So I think there's 3 options here. I think they're going full on. We're getting Gen 8. I think we may get Sinnoh remakes, which
I think Sinnoh remakes would be great.
I think Sinnoh remakes would be great. But hear me out. Red and Blue HD.
No, I'm tired of it.
That would do huge.
Tanner-
to be
Tanner's
fair,
stupid.
To be fair, any Pokemon game on the Switch would do
it's
huge.
not stupid.
Well, here's the thing. Sinnoh came out literally 10 years ago this year. It came out 10 years ago last month, 2 months ago. And so I'm thinking that...
Wait, Diamond and Pearl came out in April?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't remember that.
21st.
All right, y'all.
I don't know.
Okay,
Anyways,
okay.
it came out 2007. I know that for a fact. And when it came out, those same people who got it whenever they were kids are now a little bit older. So I'm thinking a Sinnoh remake. That's still
That'd be
consoles.
great.
I'm thinking that does great, but like, where do we all personally rate the Sinnoh games? I'd say the Sinnoh games are a very middling game for me, and that's coming from somebody that's
Personally?
played and beat every gen.
I mean,
I would give it.
That's
it's
Colt's
my
most
first.
played.
Came out-
That's my
Never mind.
favorite.
yeah, Colt's most played is the Sinnoh games.
Yeah,
What about a rating scale of 10?
I give it 10.
Well, wait,
I
hold
put
on.
so many
No, we haven't
hours
even
into
talked
that.
about it yet. We haven't even talked about the whole conference yet. Wenzel,
Oh, I'm
calm
talking
down.
about Pearl.
Pearl.
Oh, for
You
Pearl?
dumb bitch.
Yeah,
Oh,
you dumb
calm down.
dumb ass.
I'm looking
Ass.
for information.
Personally, Pearl was a 10 for me mainly because I put over 400 hours in it.
But was that not your first Pokemon game?
No, Ruby was, but then it really wasn't.
The thing is, though, I really do think that the only reason why we didn't, Tanner, that you and I didn't necessarily play the 4th gen as much is because it came at a time where we had just got through playing Emerald,
Yeah.
and that was our main. I mean, like, we played Ruby quite a bit, but Emerald was that's some top
Emerald
tier
was my shit. Emerald's still the best Pokemon game they've released.
that we've played.
Well, I played all of them.
I'd say Emerald second.
My first Pokemon game I bought in stores was Crystal.
Oh, I
I've
played all
played
of
Yellow, so I think it's fair to say I can say that.
April 22nd, 2007.
Damn, my phone was
That's
not pulling it
close.
up. It came out in Japan in September of 2006, though, is what I saw. But yeah, it's just I think let me preface this by saying any Pokemon RPG game they release on the Switch will sell mega units.
Yeah.
Will be the Switch's best-selling game this, a year after it comes out. Very
I
possible.
think Mario Odyssey is going to sell Switches
Oh,
too.
yeah. Let's talk about Super Mario Odyssey. You can be a frog.
You can be
You can be a
T-Rex.
dinosaur.
You can be anything.
You can be
want.
anything in the game. So instead of, if you don't know what Super Mario Odyssey is yet, shame on you. But it's essentially
A
instead
satanic
of their,
game where you can possess people.
Yeah, everybody loses their individuality, and Mario is the world. Mario is your new god. Is really what has happened.
That's
And, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Count me in.
It looks so good.
It looks great.
You know, after every E3 I've watched, I've never wanted to buy a console so badly after watching this one.
It's so weird because that's we'll get to that in a second. But no, Super Mario Odyssey, and it looks so crisp. And that song they had playing in the background, full English vocals, beautiful. I thought it was a great song. It's a jam. I've listened to it probably 20 times.
What song was it? I don't know.
It's the song
Some new Dawn.
that they're singing in the background during the Odyssey trailer.
I know there's a song playing. I just don't know what song it was exactly.
Oh,
New
it's a song
Dawn
made for the
City.
game.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
the chick who's singing it is actually Mario's girlfriend that was shown in Donkey Kong versus Mario 2 or Mario versus Donkey Kong 2. I can't remember, but yeah.
Interesting. It sounded good.
Oh, well, anyways. Yeah, game looks great. There's some link between worlds shit going on because you can be 2D too,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
which is awesome. You can be enemies. I'm sure there's going to be a point in the game where you get to play as Bowser. I mean that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah.
wasn't there like? Did nobody have seen that image or whatever? Like you could see the hat and the mustache on Bowser. I think.
Oh no, I haven't seen that. It's very possible, but I don't know.
I think
and
I saw
also,
that.
also the biggest news: Captain Motherfucking Toad is in the game.
Yeah.
Captain Toad
Captain
is
Toad
back.
himself?
Yeah, the Captain
Wow.
Toad is in the game.
Just rename it. It's Captain Toad
yeah,
2.
yeah, Pauline. Yeah, no, she's the mayor of New Donk City.
If anybody's seen that
Pauline
picture,
is.
Oh, she is.
Mhm.
Well, she's also their superstar singer and Mario's
Yeah.
girlfriend.
I mean, she kind of does it all. Well, is she Mario? Well, is she? She's not Mario's girlfriend anymore because the whole basis of the game is Mario trying to get Peach back from Bowser because Bowser is trying to marry Peach, and the whole evil unit in the game is an evil, no bullshit, is an evil wedding planner group of rabbits called I don't remember what they're called, but it's something very punny.
Raymond's Raving Rabbits.
Yeah, the rabbits are back. No, I don't remember what they are, but they're literally bunnies. I think they're like brunnies or oh god, I don't remember.
Bibble
I like
Bops.
that. I like that boss fight with that girl.
That was a bunny
That
rabbit.
girl bunny.
What are you talking about?
The boss
She
fight.
had like the spiky ponytail.
Oh, I was like, I was so confused what you were talking
Tanner,
about.
where are you?
I'm everywhere. I'm like Mario. I'm Wenzel. I'm the computer. I'm
Hey,
the TV.
it's me, Tanner. I have bad takes.
I'm the fishing pole. I'm the fishing pole in the room. No,
Snap it.
it looks incredible. Like it's crazy to me that the Switch in its first calendar year is going to have games. Is going to have Breath of the Wild, obviously. You know, Harold.
Brutals.
Yeah, Brutals.
Oh,
Which is they're going to have the Breath of the Wild, which is heralded as one of the best games of all time. Which let's just call it that. It's one of the best games of all time.
I haven't played
sure.
it, but
Um,
Ocarina of Time's my
and then
best
you have
game, so-
Odyssey coming out, and you have people questioning, Odyssey kind of looks better than Breath of the Wild.
No, I don't.
And then like seeing the gameplay of like, there's so many new mechanics they're adding. Like, there's not even stars anymore; they're moons, and Mario can like tuck up and roll.
Sonic.
Oh, I thought you were raising your hand. I was like, what do you?
Yes,
me.
Cody.
Excuse me, can I talk?
I thought you were raising your hand. I'm like, why are you raising your hand? We're all talking over each other. But yeah, it
It's
just
more
looks
open
fantastic.
world than it seems to be going back to that 64 and Sunshine.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
said it was on the spectrum.
Yeah, they said-
of,
They said if you put
64
Odyssey on like the Mario game spectrum, it's over the line of Galaxy and it's 64 Sunshine tier, which is like high praise in and of itself. As two games, again, heralded as like two of the greatest games of all time.
Yeah, I know.
So it's very exciting, and it comes out in October, which is earlier than I expected. A lot of people thought it was getting pushed back to 2018. I personally thought it was coming out mid-November, and it's coming out at the end of October.
I mean, speaking about the whole graphics thing, just to get off on a little tangent here about graphics, I personally agreed with a tweet that was sent out by one of the people that I follow, and it was that they prefer highly stylized graphics over those of like realistic graphics.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things that, like, especially with Mario and Pokemon to an extent, it's one of those things that I personally just have such a connection with, like, it's nostalgia driven, that I'm just like, yes, it makes me feel like a kid again. Like, even when I played 3D World, I'm like, this game makes me feel like a kid again. And I'm like, even when I play Pokemon, I'm like, oh, I remember the days where me and Cody used to sit at the ballpark, sitting by each other with our link cable connected, playing, the Pokemon games. And like, it reminds me of that. It reminds me of like childhood and like no stress or anything. It's just really, and a lot of Nintendo games have that effect on a lot of people. I'm aware I'm not in the minority there, but no, like, do I think that Mario, like Super Mario Odyssey, looks better than Days Gone graphically? Yes, because I'm a bigger fan of the color palette they use, of just the character models, just everything.
You're doing good, Nintendo.
Realism has its place.
Oh, absolutely.
For me, all my favorite games tend to have a more stylized palette, and even like, they're just prettier. They have a different style to them. They have a different tone, and I feel like the more realistic games tend to be more cinematic based rather than sort of, I don't know. It's Mario games are always Nintendo knows how to make games. That's just it.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, like, when you look at maybe what people consider the worst, and I don't think it's the worst, I just think it's because it sold the least. Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U, that game is a great game, but just nobody played it because nobody had a Wii U.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just the thing. I don't think Nintendo at this point could make a bad 3D Mario if they tried. Like, if they actively tried. I mean, when you hear this game's basis, yes, Mario can take over everything, and you're fighting against some wedding planner bunnies. That sounds stupid. And then you're like,
does it?
But then in practice, you're like, this is the greatest game of all time. Let's
Fuck
go.
these bunnies.
Yeah. And then that doesn't even showed Metroid Prime 4.
They didn't show Jack.
Well, okay, they didn't show. Okay, when I say show it, I mean they were like, yes, shut the hell up. We're working on it as fast as humanly possible.
I struggle with how they announce that too.
Well, see, in here, because it's not hypocritical, I think, because I think Ubisoft kind of did the same thing with Beyond Good and Evil 2. But here's the thing. I trust Nintendo more to get Metroid Prime 4 out in 2 years, because I think they've been working on it for a little bit. I don't think it's on day zero development. I trust Nintendo. If Nintendo says, hey, we're releasing this game, unless something goes literally tragically wrong, that game's going to come out. Ubisoft, on the other hand, I do not have the utmost faith in after some of these Assassin's Creed shenanigans, after some of these
Watch Dogs.
after Watch Dogs 1, after some of these Division.
You're making me sad, Tanner.
I'm like, is Beyond Good and Evil going to come out? So while yes, I'm not the biggest fan of how they essentially just showed a JPEG of Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, hell yeah, that's a JPEG of Metroid Prime 4. And then that doesn't even count during the Treehouse. There's a whole reimagining of Metroid 2 coming out in 3 months for the 3DS. It's called Metroid Return of Samus.
Yeah.
Because I think
Samus Returns.
Oh, Samus Returns, because the original Metroid 2 is called Return of Samus.
They also Kirby.
Yeah,
Kirby looked good.
Kirby looked great.
Kirby will be a Q1 game. I have full faith in that, though.
I love Kirby games.
Oh yeah, and this game looks adorable as hell. And the Yoshi game?
Oh yes.
It's another Yarn Yoshi, I believe.
No, it's not. It's not. He's not Yarn.
It looks Yarn to me.
He's not Yarn.
It looked good.
It's weird because, and what's also weird about that game is that game's with Unreal Engine 4, which is very like Nintendo to not use a.
It's literally called Yoshi.
Yeah,
that's the working title.
Yeah, Yoshi and Kirby are both working titles. I kind of wish they would just call them Yoshi and Kirby. I know they wouldn't because it's terrible for marketing reasons. Xbox One, but
Xbox One X.
Yeah, Xbox One X. But no, I'm super pumped for those games. I mean, right now, and they showed Mario Rabbids again, which again I think Mario Rabbids is going to be a surprisingly big hit.
Yeah. You know what this? Looking at, I'm actually watching a little bit of footage of the new Yoshi game. It actually looks like it's giving me those vibes of the Yoshi story.
Yeah, that's
game.
I think it's more akin to that than it is Yarn Yoshi. And plus there's there's co-op in the game, and there's this mechanic. If you're playing co-op, you can both ground pound at the same time, and it flips the world since it's all like paper diorama or whatever. So you can like flip the world to find secrets and find coins and find shy guys and stuff. It's a really like neat concept.
That forced perspective type thing too. Like what is it called? Tiny toy. It's like a toy. It's where they have the perspective and they basically focus in on like the centerpiece, and so the background's in blur and the foreground's in blur, so it makes it look like a toy like setup.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Nintendo had a great showing. 25 minutes,
Rating, go.
9.5.
What about you, Colt?
8.5.
What about you, Wenzel? I want to know yours. You said you've never wanted to go out more and buy a console after E3. That's pretty high praise.
9. I'd give it a 9
What-
because I want to Switch really badly now.
And again, Switch $300.
I really wanted to play Kirby.
Yeah.
And I really want to play Yoshi. And I really want to play Super Mario Odyssey. And I'm excited for whatever Pokemon. I want to get Pokemon Tournament DX.
Yeah, it looks
Deluxe,
really good.
Whatever. I think Nintendo, while I do dislike the fact that they were like, we're working on Metroid. We're working on. Well, they obviously came out with a Pokemon thing because of the backlash.
Yeah,
last week.
yeah, that was.
But I am gonna give Nintendo a 9.
Fair. I mean, fair. I think as far as I want to go around the room, not counting Devolver because Devolver is its own separate thing. So just Bethesda, EA, Microsoft, Ubisoft, Sony, Nintendo, the main 6. I want to go around the room and you rank them. Maybe just say your winner of E3. That might be easier.
Okay.
Based on your scores.
Well,
God, this is gonna be weird for me. Okay.
because I think, if I'm going top 3 conferences, Nintendo, Ubisoft, Microsoft,
Oh.
are my top 3.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Okay. So do I? Who wants to?
Whoever wants to go next.
I'll go next. Sony, Nintendo, Bethesda.
Okay, so I'm going to need you to explain yours because you gave Nintendo a higher score than Sony's.
Well,
but
because
yet you said Sony's
even
is
though
better.
I really want a Nintendo console, the Switch, it's like, Sony.
You have a PlayStation.
I have a PlayStation, and they showed so much. It got me really, really hyped, and that's what still kind of like puts me over Nintendo. But of course, that's why I put Nintendo second because I do want to get the Switch now and get those games.
Well, and I'm not trying to change your criteria here because it's yours. But would you not say that Nintendo actively wanting to make you buy a console is a better job than Sony being like, well, you can buy these in like a year? Would Nintendo not technically be doing their job better than Sony?
Well, see, that's the
I
thing.
don't think it's a fair thing.
Why is that?
because
That's
we
the whole
already
point of these
own-
conferences.
Well, I would say if I didn't own a PS4, Sony's conference would make me want to buy a PS4 as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay,
That's interesting.
I don't know how to combat this at this point. I mean, I have all 3, so
No,
I'm looking at this from a different
See,
perspective. I guess.
I think it's the fact that we have. Because I know Colt had more of a. I think this all goes back to what we grew up with.
Yeah,
Because I think that Tanner and I are both we're more Nintendo.
Yeah.
people.
I'm Nintendo.
And Nintendo, and Colt and Wenzel are more of the Sony. The more again, it comes to that idea of the realistic graphics versus the.
But see, that's the thing though. One of my favorite games of all time is The Wolf Among Us, and its graphics are
And mine is Ocarina of Time.
yeah.
I mean, that could be.
But
the
I mean,
thing
that can
is,
be true. I mean, one of my favorite
overall-
games of all time is Kingdom Hearts, and that's not on a Nintendo
I mean,
platform.
the only game that interests me out of anything Sony did, I've played several Spider-Man games. I can't believe I'd played that many Spider-Man games, in my life. But I played it quite a bit.
I even played like the shitty ones.
Yeah.
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 My favorite Spider-Man game, by the way, is the one that was on Nintendo
64.
Yeah, just called. I think it was called Spider-Man.
And
Yeah.
the PlayStation.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that for me, like, I definitely think that Nintendo was number 1, but I also really enjoy every one of their games. I was like, I really want to play that because they're like games that you can pick up, you can play, and feel good, and then go away.
And a lot of those games, you also have to think from Nintendo's perspective, a lot of those games are coming out this year. I mean, their main 2 games that they showed are coming out this year.
I mean, I have a PS4, and I'm like, I don't want to buy. The only game that I wanted to buy out of the Sony conference was God of War.
yeah,
Really?
and that will be next year.
Yeah.
And outside of that, not only did Nintendo, I have a PS4 as well. So if I have a PS4 and I don't want to buy anything but God of War, but Nintendo, I don't have a Switch, but I want a Switch in every other game they showed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, that shows that Nintendo won it over for me. But I think it really does come down to the taste because I know Wenzel and Colt, they play mostly those realistic.
And it's totally fair to have your biases. Everybody has their
Yeah.
biases with this.
Yeah.
But I truly think that Nintendo had something that pulled me in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I should say too, like, even though I said, Sony, I would not Sony, Nintendo, I want to buy the Switch and those games. With Sony, it's like, you're adding like, I guess like more of a mental list of games I need to buy, even though they all won't come out till like who knows how fucking long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess I am kind of biased because Sony.
At the end of the conference for Sony, I looked at all the games and I said, I'm going to own every single one of those games at one point. At some point, I will own every single one of those games.
Yeah.
I may not buy them day one, but I will own them.
I mean, fair. I mean, yeah. Again,
but when
everybody has
Nintendo,
their biases.
I didn't say that.
I mean, again, everybody has their biases. I think it was clear that Nintendo had a better conference than at least Sony, because I would have Sony fourth in E3. But again, I don't want to say that anybody had a bad press conference, because I think everybody
EA had the weakest.
I would say EA definitely had the weakest. I have Bethesda fifth, and I think Bethesda and EA are interchangeable. Besides the fact that all of Bethesda's stuff comes out this year.
Fourth, I think I'd have Ubisoft, and then fifth, I think I'd have. Oh gosh. I think
I'd say
okay.
I mean, EA has Anthem and Battlefront, and Anthem looks great from what I've seen.
Yeah,
I'd say,
say that.
Ubisoft's not Ubisoft.
EA.
EA.
Yeah. No, I would say the same thing. Yeah, EA's last because
I think that's kind of universal. But again, I don't think EA had a bad press conference at all.
No, it wasn't bad.
Probably like a 6.5.
Let's talk about the real highlight here. Sports.
Football.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's the complaint of EA's press conference every year. But then again, you look, all of these sports titles sells millions of units.
Yeah, so I mean, they're gonna do something.
What's your most What's the one game you're most looking forward to
from E3?
Oh God.
From E3 overall. The
fuck.
number one game. If it came out tomorrow, that you would go out and put down $60 on tomorrow.
Oh, I have.
I gotta
have
think.
mine.
I have mine. I have mine.
Even if NAC 2
is 40,
is 60.
Here's $20 extra. No, I have mine right now.
I don't even.
I mean,
I have
are we
mine.
waiting, or can I go ahead and say mine?
It has to be. It has to have at least a banner. Like Metroid Prime works, but not the Pokemon in 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, mine's Super Mario Odyssey.
I'm good.
Like easily.
Yours is Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
God of War.
Ooh, shit.
Ni no Kuni 2.
Yeah, of course.
You don't have to wait long.
November.
I think for me, mine probably will be. Ooh, shit. Now that I've said this, I've put myself in a hole. I think that my most anticipated game is probably gonna be Odyssey.
I mean, it just looks so wacky.
It just looks like it's just like it's gonna be a shit ton of fun.
Yeah. I mean, again.
But God of War though.
I know. Like after that trailer, I'm just like, my head's exploding.
Here's my thing because I think God of War would probably be in my top 3. Here's my ranking with that. God of War in my head, I'm like, that comes out so much later than Odyssey. I know Odyssey is almost in my hands.
Right.
So
God of War doesn't even have a release window. I mean, it's 2018.
And so like you're not preparing yourself for
So
it.
I'm not mentally prepared for God of War right now. Just like I'm not mentally prepared for Red Dead Redemption 2. But when Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Outside of games, what's the other number one thing that you're excited for? Like when it comes to companies, when it comes to like the companies and what they're doing.
I'm really
hardware,
excited.
Stuff like that.
I already got
Cheaper VR.
I am very excited for cheaper VR. I know Microsoft is actually trying to work on cheaper VR currently.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're trying to. From what I understood, they're working with different companies to make a cheaper headset, and I think they're trying to get it to be at least like $300 for a headset, $250, $300, which would be perfect. I think would be a good price range for headsets to be, and they're also. But the thing is, though, is they are teaming up with different companies like. I forgot the name of the company, but they're teaming up with different companies to try and get the price lowered as much as possible. I think they may be doing one with Dell too. I think I don't know, but.
Why are you looking at me, Tanner?
I was just wondering if you had yours.
Oh no, I have no fucking idea.
My one thing that I'm excited for is I actually want an Xbox One S now, not One X.
Yeah.
I want a One S.
Yeah.
I said it I think it's the other last podcast. I said Xbox conference made me want a One S more than it did make me want.
Yeah.
a One
I think
X.
that was the overwhelming majority from that press conference.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, I want an S. That
Yeah,
costs half as much. And
Microsoft had that effect on me, just as Nintendo had that effect
But
on me with the Switch.
The one thing I'm excited for is that backwards compatibility to the Xbox, because I never had an Xbox, and we were PlayStation 2 people or Nintendo people, but we weren't Xbox people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really excited I would like to have an Xbox One S just to play Xbox backwards compatible games.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I'm excited about is seemingly Microsoft and Nintendo working together for cross-platform play. So, like, I believe Rocket League's gonna be compatible with the PC and the Xbox versions.
Minecraft.
Minecraft. Well, again, that's really cool. And there's just one game I want to highlight called War Groove coming out, and it's the game that kind of looked like Advance Wars. I don't remember who showed it. It might have been shown at the PC Gaming Show, but it's going to be cross. You're going to be able to play it Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC. But also, it's one of those games where you can create your own campaigns, and you can put your campaigns out into the ether. So you can create your campaign on the Switch, send it out into the ether. Somebody on the PC can play it, or somebody on the Xbox can play it. And I think that's really cool. And I think...
Oh, yeah. I just remembered it.
Yeah, it's the game that literally looks like Advance Wars. It's really cool. I hope that... I say bigger titles. I mean, Minecraft is huge, but... I really hope more titles start integrating that, because I think that has, I mean, obviously it has
Like,
a
imagine
ton
if
of
Call
potential.
of Duty were to do cross-play.
Yeah, and I mean, a Switch can play Call of
be
Duty.
crazy.
I mean, a Switch can run a 720p, 30 frames per second Call of Duty, and it's fine. Nobody, God, I don't even want to get into the frames debate, because I think it's so stupid, but yeah. No, that's what I'm most excited for.
Are you about to say that the human eye can't see past 60 FPS or 30?
No.
Are you saying
You're
my
about to say
eye's
that.
dumb?
I was about to
Yes.
hit you.
Oh, I was gonna bring up another game too. Speaking of stylized graphics, I think it was called the Last Night or whatever, where it was
Oh, no.
That's the problematic game,
Oh,
though.
no.
That guy's Milkshake Duck.
wait, what?
Yeah, that guy's like super like racist and sexist and
Oh wait, the one where it was
Homophobic.
pixelated and it was like took place in the future.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Yeah, so yeah, don't
But
say
I
that
said
again.
that a year ago. It doesn't matter.
Never mind.
Yeah, that dude's like full on Gamergate trash. Yeah, it's really
God
disappointing.
damn it.
Yeah, it's
man.
Why do racists
it's really-
do this?
It's really disappointing, but
Well, whatever.
Aw.
whatever, forget him. But before we close out, there was one
I'm
more game
sad.
that was showed at the PC Gaming Show called Ooblets. That game
Ooblets.
Yeah.
looks
That-
adorable.
Ooblets is... Look, I am a sucker for farming simulators.
Yes.
I'm a sucker for simulators. I'm a sucker for
Pokemon.
small-looking, beautiful things.
Pokemon.
So I'm
all in on some Ooblets.
Yeah, Ooblets is gonna get my money.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on that Ooblet note, I think it's time to come to a close.
Well,
Yeah.
is there anything outside of E3 anybody want to talk about? I mean, tomorrow we have Lord's new album, Melodrama,
I'm excited for it. I'm excited
Yeah.
for Lord's album.
and then this other band, Portugal the Man. They have an album coming out tomorrow called Woodstock.
Just Portugal the band. I'm sure lots of people know Portugal.
Portugal the Man. Okay.
There's this little band you may have never heard of. It's called Portugal the Man. No,
Yeah.
but as always, you can follow the podcast on Twitter at AYCH Podcast. Check us out on SoundCloud. Check us out on iTunes. Leave us a rating, subscribe, leave us a nice comment. Listen to us on Google Play, any of your podcatchers. We're on a lot of them, I know. And you can follow me, Tanner, on Twitter at Tanner1495.
Did you say something about reviewing us?
Yes.
Why'd you look at me?
Okay.
What's
'Cause
Were you not listening?
maybe. I was really distracted by the deer's neck size up there.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing has a thick neck.
Okay. Yes. If Tanner, I don't know what Tanner said about reviewing, but the more reviews we get on iTunes, the better we can make this podcast. The more reviews, the more information we get, the more you talk to us and tell us what you
Yeah.
like, what you don't like.
Give us feedback.
Feedback helps create this podcast. We're working on a bunch of stuff. We're trying to get things up and going. And the more you help, the better it is.
Absolutely.
And next week, we'll be off the E3 shit, and we'll be on to some of our old banter.
Lord forgive me, but we're
I'm
back
back
on
on
our
my
old
old
bullshit.
We're going back to that type of setup. So I know there's a lot of people that E3 stuff, they're like, I don't give a fuck. I don't play video games. That's cool. We love
But
video
it's not at
games,
the same time.
But, we're...
I'm being serious.
I did a little music
I don't know
plug.
why you even said that.
Because it's not cool to not like video games.
I was
Yeah.
confused.
Christ.
Okay.
Okay.
Go on.
Anyways, so next week we'll be back to our regular broadcasting.
Yeah.
So...
And that's kind of the cool thing about this podcast. We just kind of jump around.
do
We're
it.
ever flowing.
Yeah, your Lords of
really
Banter.
We always try to... We're,
Wenzel, you about to be kicked off for you. do
Lords
your
of
vlogs.
Banter? You're telling me that doesn't sound awesome?
You're about to be kicked off for your.
Tanner and I had the conversation last week because we had the majority of the content of these past 3 episodes has been E3. First one was E3 pre-show. Last week we talked about E3, and this week we're talking about E3. So we try to put E3 in the title of our E3 episode so that we can actually have something that, so that people know, oh, that's going to be an E3 episode.
That's E3. I really want to listen to that. Or that's E3. Going to avoid it. Anyways, plugs.
Oh, yeah. Follow me, Wenzelwolke, at WenzyWolke on Twitter.
Oh, if you want to harass me on Twitter about my Sony bias, follow me on Twitter, ColtD88.
That Colt, is that your Twitter?
I think it might be my Facebook.
Oh.
Wait.
ColtD88, follow.
I think it is. Never mind. Anyways, and I'm Cody, and you can catch me here.
Yep, Cody's just on the podcast.
Yeah, he exists nowhere else.
Yep.
Is that it?
Is that
Yeah.
it?
I don't know.
That's it.
Is it?
Oh, I guess. See you guys later.
Ravioli sandwich.
We really need to establish that after Plugs podcast is over.
I don't know. I like that little bit where there's no.
Why are you smiling at me?
I don't know, because you kept...